This is Axis and Allies North Africa unboxing on the Two or Less channel. It has finally arrived in the UK and more importantly to my humble abode. It's been available in America for about 8 weeks now. Why didn't the Brits get it first? Yaboo sucks. But let's get on with it and start unboxing, see what's in the box. I've been super excited about this for a long time. As we get going, may I mention that I make these videos in aid of a charity called Cure Parkinson's. You can guess what they're trying to do. There's a link to them below this video, one in the About section on the channel page. If you happen to have a spare dollar, euro, yen, yak or British pound you can send to them, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. So, here it is, much anticipated by me. I've been like a 5-year-old on Blue Smarties when this arrived through my door yesterday afternoon. Finally get a chance to open it up. Here we go. As expected, some sort of flam about other stuff they got and a rulebook. I'm pleased to see the rulebook is actually not glossy paper. I was a bit worried it might be glossy. It's a matte finish, which makes things much easier to read when you get in the shine of the lights in the evening time. We've got a setup cards. There's already falling out, perfectly punched through. Because in some of the old Avalon Hill games, they were a monster to get out. Especially the old Hex Encounter ones rather than Axis and Allies. Whole sheet of doobies. Yep, exactly what we're expecting. Nothing missing there as far as I can see. And some charts. The important thing I've been trying to look for, anticipating wise, is the actual board itself. Now it's fallen in. It was actually put in too big of a box and it got a bit tumbled around, I think, in the post. But I wanted to see how big this board was. This is the important thing for me to know about, apart from the gameplay and everything else, but I wanted to know how big the board's going to turn out to be, because it's important for my setup and my space is available. It's 2 pieces of board, so that is 1/2 of a board, which goes from there to there. Let me just get a comparison board out. 1 second, I'll be back. This is half a board from the 1942 second edition. Slide it into place. It's gonna be end up being wider eventually, because that's the North Africa. This is the 42. It's going to end up being wider but narrower. Wider but narrower. Longer but narrower. Yeah, it should fit onto most of my gaming tables, but that was interesting for me to find out. Let's look at the pieces in a bit closer detail now. I'll grab a bag of German ones. And first thing that springs out to me actually is the anti-aircraft artillery and the ground artillery pieces. There we got them there. I understand from the rules, I think the anti-aircraft guns can also hit the ground units as well. I might be wrong with that, but back in the day, Germany found out that if they sloped those guns downwards, the anti-aircraft guns were pretty good at destroying tanks as well. And I think they modified them later on so they would be specifically used for ground units as well as anti-aircraft guns. The Panzers, I'm guessing they're Panzers. They're a little bit blocky, hard to see in the light here, but they're a little bit blocky. But serviceable. They've got some half tracks and some scout cars. Yeah, I quite like the concept of them, just lacking in detail a little bit. But you know, it's gameplay rather than graphics. But then I'm a 5-year-old. I love me old graphics in games, and the Stukas. Oh man, alive! I love those. Those Stukas look absolutely wonderful. I think you get Stukas in perhaps it's in the revised edition, and is it in the anniversary that are Stukas as well? But I'd like them. They look absolutely great. I'm guessing these are 109s. They look a bit Spitfire-ish to me, but yep. Okay, that's the main bulk of the German pieces. Can't see any more to bring out to you. We try the Italian ones now. We got very similar anti-aircraft guns to what they have in the global game. The very, I don't know if it's a new sculpt, but the base is that overly chunky base that it always seems to be far too big for the regions that Italy goes into. Tanks there, they might be different sculpts. I think they are different sculpts to the global game that I'm more used to seeing them with. These are M1542s, apparently, whatever that is. Don't really know Italian stuff too much. Pretty chunky artillery pieces. They look very similar to the global edition stuff. Anything else that really springs to mind? Little trucks there. They're cute little trucks. I like them. Yeah, I like the trucks there. Let's have a look at the Brits next. Why not? Things that spring out straight away for the Brits, it's those trucks again. I'm guessing they must be generic throughout all the powers, but I like them. They look great in them. Things are easy to see in the lighter colours and in the dark colours. Those trucks are great. Yep, like those. And the big bombers. I'm guessing that they were. I think they use Halifax bombers usually throughout the whole of the Axis and Allies series, but I think they look fairly much like Lancasters, with those tail planes being higher up. I think on the Halifaxes, those tail planes they started off halfway through the tail rather than sticking upwards right from the bottom. So they look a lot like Lancasters, or Manchester Merlins as they're supposed to be called. We've got artillery pieces. Yeah, anything different? The tanks there. There's some Sherman tanks in there, obviously imported from America land, and these are Matildas. Matilda 2s, apparently. Wow, yeah, I like them. Again, it's not quite as detailed as I'm used to getting. And I'm just seeing these. I did hear that they got these tiny little scout cars for the Brits, and oh wow. Yeah, if you sneeze too much, you're going to lose half of those. As a comparison size, that's one of your Matildas, that's one of your scout cars. They are very small indeed. One second. Yeah, got some stuff from one of my, I think it's an old Xeno game, something like that, and I've got some Willys Jeeps, something like that's in there. Maybe they're even Ford Jeeps. In comparison to the size of these little scout cars that the Brits get in the game, yeah, I may have to switch those out to those sculpts for fear of losing those tiny little ones in there. We shall have to see how it goes. Oh! I'm seeing artillery pieces that are different. They're great. Oh, look at those. I'd like to have more of those. They are brilliant. Yep, love those. Anything else springs to mind? Standard artillery pieces, Spitfires. Okay, let's look at the Americans next. For America land, we got the standard B-17s and P-38s that are in there. Not seeing too much different than I'd expected to see as usual. Pretty much the standard artillery pieces. Across the board trucks. The Shermans look particularly plain. I'd say I'm slightly disappointed with those Shermans. They're not a great model throughout the whole of the series. They just look very, very smooth and undetailed. But again, as I say, it's for me, it's graphics over gameplay, but I am that 5-year-old. I definitely am that 5-year-old. Let me get these tucked away. 1 second. There's also a bag of spare units or alternate setup units. So I'll keep those to one side. And I think I'm saving the worst to last. I hate to say it. When this game was announced and I saw these sculpts for the French units and these tanks, I said I think they're placeholders, ready for when the proper ones come in, and they're not placeholders. They are horrible little sculpts there. Yeah. But the French don't play a big role in this game. I understand it. Not my cup of tea at all, those sculpts. But it's sculpts, it's games, it's form over function, gameplay over graphics, whatever I want to say. I'm sure the game is going to be absolutely brilliant. Oh wow, now I've got this laid out in front of me. It is an oh wow moment. Below it is the G40 board. So you can see how long it is. It goes from Central America on one side, right across to Japan on the other side. About 3/4 of the length of a G40 board, but only less than, well, probably just over half the width. So it's all pretty much reachable, and I love the colour scheme. The colour scheme is absolutely spot on. The colours they got there in Morocco and in the Sahara, yeah, that looks great. The sea tones remind me of the old Pacific, the original Pacific game with that slightly paler oceans. Love it, absolutely love it. And everything looks very clear and easy to read as well. There's not too much clutter on the board. I guess reinforcement zones, I'm going to find out what that does later on, and the round track and information panels up there, that's going to be really handy. I am so much looking forward to getting this game going. And I can see myself being lost in here for the next couple of months, learning the rules, learning some strategies, and making a video or several for you. So I hope yours drops to your letterbox very shortly. And I'm sure you're as excited as I am to get this thing going. So, thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, be cool.